Students, it is week 21 and this is your Thursday video. I have some more information for you little students on some of the assignments that we're working on. So let's review which assignments you're doing right now. Okay, so we started out with our novels that are set in kind of magical and fantastic worlds. So these were fantasy novels. You had a couple of choices. You were reading either Gregor the Overlander or Ella Enchanted, or you were reading Fablehaven, or you could contact me about reading a book of your choice. All right, you have just a couple more weeks to finish one of those fantasy novels, and then I want you to write up a review of that book. And the review that I would like you to write, I want you to answer this question, okay? Would you want to visit or live in that magical world? Why or why not? Okay, so I'm going to ask it, would you want to go to this world? Question mark. Why or why not? Okay. That is the review that you need to do on the book that you read. Okay, please write me a short paper about if you would like to visit. Do you want to go underground with Gregor? Do you want to go see what's deep within the earth? Do you want to ride a bat? Okay, or does that just creep you out? No, you're not going there. How about Ella Enchanted? How would you enjoy being there with ogres and fairy godmothers and all those kinds of creatures in Frel, where Ella lives? Would you sign up to go visit there? Or in Fablehaven, how would you like to be a caretaker of one of the magical preserves? What would you enjoy about that job? What wouldn't you? Which creatures would you want to see? Or you staying as far away from any magical preserve as possible? So please tell me, would you want to go to this world? Why or why not? Okay, that is your novel part of this unit that you're working on. The second theme that you're working on is paint like a Renaissance artist. And we had several criteria that you could follow, okay, for this Renaissance artist. I want to just show you the photo babble that Spencer created that I thought was so fantastic. Kind of gives you an example and an idea of a possible project you could do. I love Photo Babble. If you haven't checked it out, it's a fun new site that you can learn how to use. I love kind of exposing you to some of the amazing tools that are on the internet to help you with your learning and your education. So let's take a look at Spencer's.
Hello, this is my Phoenix. I drew it for about an hour, and I figured for a Renaissance art assignment this would be a good material, because people draw animals that aren't regularly seen, like cats and dogs, like ferrets. This is a phoenix, not regularly drawn because it's a magical creature, so I figured I would draw it for the Renaissance art.
Okay, awesome. That's a great example of an A project. You can see I loved the phoenix and the coloring that Spencer chose to use with that, kind of representative of fire. He's a really good artist. Not that you have to be a good artist, but I love that he was exploring different techniques in his art. He did choose a magical creature. one of the criteria that we had. And Phoenix are mythical creatures, not real. And then he just told us a little bit about it, which was fun in the photobabble, why he painted that, why he drew it, and how it had to do with Renaissance art. So you don't have to put it to a photobabble, but that's a fun way to share it with us and tell us a little bit more about it. Sometimes when you look at an art piece, you don't really understand the background or why the artist made different choices. So photobabble is a fun way to share that. There is a Dropbox that you can put your painting or picture in, a picture of your work in, and then I'd love to have you share it in one of our Wednesday and Thursday sharing sessions. We're going to be finishing up with those this week. Paint like a Renaissance artist. So that's the next theme that you're working on. Our third and final thing is our writing assignment. And I want you to write a flyer about a magical world. What do I mean by a flyer or a brochure? Hey, imagine that you're going to take a trip and you go to a travel agency and they have different flyers or brochures about different places you might want to visit. It's going to show some great illustrations or pictures and images of that place, but it's also going to have great descriptive writing that really makes you go, I've got to go there. Whether it's a description of the food you can eat there, a description of the events, the places you can see, the activities you can participate in, the beaches, the parasailing, the explore a volcano, whatever might be possible. They write a lot of descriptive detail to include in that. Since we're working on our paragraphs and writing descriptive detail sentences, I want you to write a flyer about a magic world. You can create this place. It can be a real place that you write about that seems kind of magical to you, or it can be a completely fictional place, and put together a flyer or brochure about it. You can incorporate pictures from the internet on this flyer. You can draw pictures for it if you would like to, if that's kind of your thing. But the most important part, because this is a writing assignment, is that you are going to be writing. So it needs to include at least, we're going to say 4 or 5 short paragraphs about this place. Okay. So you can, again, like I said, do this digitally on the internet with Smore Flyers, smore.com, S-M-O-R-E, or you can do it on a piece of paper and just do your own work. On the computer as well, just in a Word document where you've cut and pasted pictures and then written or typed your text. Okay, we have a couple of weeks to finish that flyer, and so get working on that as soon as you can. I think it's due next week. And then we'll start sharing them in our sharing sessions as well. Then we're going to conclude the month with just a discussion in one of our sharing sessions about our novels and if you would like to go to see one of them or not. Okay, so those are the activities that you're working on, little students, in addition to your action items. There's 3 different assignments. These are also listed on the checklist. I encourage you to go to the checklist. It lists specific due dates as well as all the requirements and details. And then be sure and put these in the Dropbox for me as well. Okay, your book review, your Paint Like a Renaissance Artist, and your brochure or flyer about a magic world. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll catch you next week.